And the BAFTA goes to The Revenant.
Wow, this is quite a surprise. Thank you, BAFTA, thank you, the Academy. Most of all, thank you, Alejandro, for making this amazing world. And yes, you're an amazing director, but you're a better and more amazing human being. And that's what you can see here. And I was very lucky to be introduced to this beautiful country through the movies. The first time probably Alejandro and I and Alfonso Cuarón saw and heard about London and the UK was through a film written by Alan Parker called Melody, and it was very famous in Mexico. So we were kids looking at through the window of the cinema and traveling for the first time beyond our boundaries. So that's obviously one of the amazing things that cinema has. It can make you go other places. I'm very honored to share this with my friends, so I'm going to be brief. Thank you so much.
Chris, Frank, John, Randy, we've lost Martin, but we know he's here and we congratulate him too. Sound team for The Revenant, well done. I mean, it was such a huge ask, this shoot. Shooting in such short times for the natural light, so many elements sort of probably working against you. How, important was it for you to get your jobs right on these shoot days?
Go ahead, Chris.
Production. Go ahead.
Well, I guess being the one that was in the location end of it, we had one shot at it quite often, and if we didn't get it, we were back the next day. So I guess technically we had several shots, but it's a choreograph, it's a dance, and every single part has to be absolutely perfect, or the shot doesn't work. And this film is not a film where you cut back and forth between different angles. We were doing a lot of 100s and 360-degree shots. This is something that you just had to nail it. Every person had to be on their A game every day. No excuses, no way out.
That's immense pressure, but you all look very well on it, I have to say. You've obviously had a bit of time to thaw out. Fantastic. When you're working with Alejandro, I mean, he's an incredible filmmaker, probably like no other that we know. His vision, everything that he wants, do you understand the moment he explains to you what he's looking for?
Well, Alejandro is one of the few directors who actually thinks about sound beforehand and treats sound as a collaborator, just like camera and production design. So it's a privilege to work with him. My first assignment on the movie was the bear sequence. And he explained that it had to be absolutely organic, absolutely believable, even though half the time I wasn't even seeing a bear in the shot when eventually the audience sees a bear. And so the standards were very high, and it was one of the toughest jobs I've ever had, and I've been doing this a long time.
Does it make you excited to work with him again, or are you like, just going to go and do this quiet little project for a couple of years?
Oh, I'm going to beg him to work on his next
Fantastic.
film.
Randy's going to work for Porridge.
What about sound effects? I mean, I'm fascinated by some of the sounds that get made, because obviously we're seeing things that probably didn't really happen. I mean, what was the most fun, juicy kind of effect to kind of create?
I think, as we were sculpting the sound effects and shaping it against picture is our biggest challenge, right? Because it continuously moves. And again, the edict was, real when it needs to be real, so it could dynamic range. It was big when it was supposed to be really, intimate, all in the same breath when it needed to be. So that was our biggest challenge from sound effects, was to create the environments, to make those transitions from scene to scene, to be big and bold when necessary, and really quiet and intimate, So it ran the gamut, and Randy and I handled the effects throughout. And it was great to work with Randy for the first time, and Alejandro is demanding, brings the best out of you, so it was a great experience.
Well, congratulations to all of you. Do all the sound teams go and sort of fanboy over each other later? Will you be going to see the Star Wars guys and going, I loved how you did that, and what was the piece of equipment you used?
It's a brotherhood.
It is. Congratulations. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
Let's hope for more
Quick
wins.
thing,
Yes, please
Charlie
do.
O'Shea and Candice Tedesco on the location team. It went by so quick on stage, I didn't get a chance to thank them.
Oh gosh, make sure we've got that.
We got
Thank you. They'll be furious with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Tonight I'd like to add a few names to the honour roll who who haven't had a chance or who aren't represented tonight, to obviously the marvel that is George Miller,